This carjacking was recorded on a mobile phone. The footage shows one of the suspects fighting off the car owner and another man who came to his aid. The two other female suspects come over to help their colleague.
Come on! What the hell?
Hey, watch out behind you!
Realizing their operation had been unsuccessful, the suspects run back to their black Toyota and drive away, leaving the car they had intended to jack. In this next carjacking attempt, caught on the car's dash cam, the suspect tried to trick the driver into falling for their trap, but the driver was much smarter. One of the suspects jumped in front of the vehicle and pretended to be hit, but they were totally shocked by what the driver did next. Without even a second thought, the quick-thinking driver drove off and was on his way, leaving the criminals shocked. Body cam footage shows Officer Hayden, an undercover cop who was in his car when an armed man with a ski mask approached him at the driver's side of the vehicle. As soon as he opened the driver's side door, the police officer fired several shots at the criminal. The officer immediately calls for medical attention. What an unlucky criminal.
Somebody tried to rob me. Call 911.
This dashcam footage shows a driver going through a town when he encounters a group of armed men pointing a gun at him. The driver immediately reverses his car, and then men chase after him but don't catch up. Footage from this CCTV camera shows the moment a Porsche driver in Johannesburg, South Africa, outsmarted carjackers. The driver of the white Porsche was pulling up to his driveway when he noticed a suspicious gray vehicle pulling up to the sidewalk. Surely enough, the driver of the vehicle backed up to the driveway, and an armed man got out to approach the driver of the Porsche. Just as the gunman got out, the Porsche driver backed up and sped away. Dashcam footage shows this man thought he could carjack this driver all by himself, holding what is believed to be a box cutter, but no driver was going to fall for that. The man must have been really desperate to try something that silly. This driver's dash cam footage shows she is right behind a white Charger, but she was really not in the mood for what the Charger did next.
Come on now, quit.
An armed man then exited the car and approached her car with the gun pointed at the woman. The robber begins to bang at the driver's door, trying to get it open. The woman is terrified and takes off, speeding away.
Oh. Ah!
This next clip is perhaps the funniest on the list. Body cam footage shows the arrest of this lady, who was suspected to have been driving a stolen car.
Okay, place your hands behind your back for me, okay?
What the hell's going on?
Place your hands behind your back.
Please, what is...
The officer then tells the lady that the car she was driving had been reported as stolen, and she was not legally supposed to be driving anyway. The woman, now in tears, pleads her innocence.
It was reported as stolen, okay? So you're in possession of it.
I didn't know, please.
Not to mention, your driving status is flagged. So you're not even supposed to be driving, so you're going to jail.
I didn't.
The officers put the woman in the police car while they were figuring out what to do with her, but as they soon realized, that was a big mistake. The lady maneuvered her way to the driver's seat of the police car and took off. It looks like she was a car thief after all.
Watch this move.
What is she doing? Trying to steal your car. David 136, suspect just stole my vehicle.
The dash cam from the stolen police car shows the woman driving away and reaching speeds of up to 90 miles per hour while handcuffed.
While handcuffed.
Oh God, there's another cop.
Several police cars chase after her, but she makes her way to an apartment complex and exits the moving vehicle, running off. But the officers chase her down and capture her again. The woman, once again, pleads her innocence while crying. Well, who's going to believe her now, huh?
I told you guys I didn't steal that car.
You just stole a police car.
No, I'm going to jail for over.
You stole a police car in front of 3 police officers.
CCTV footage at this gas station shows a driver filling up his car when a black vehicle pulls up next to him at the other side of the pump. A man immediately jumps out of the vehicle and approaches the driver, pointing a gun at him. But the man resisted the carjackers and was shot. The robbers, fearing that they had murdered the man, got back into their vehicle and took off. Fortunately, the man was taken to the hospital and survived the shot. Dashcam footage shows what this driver in Chile did when carjackers thought they had blocked his path. After pulling up ahead of him, several men came out of the vehicle and started to approach his car. But they were not expecting what the driver did next. The driver, without a second thought, stepped on his accelerator and took off, almost hitting one of the robbers but ramming into one of their car doors. It really was a bad day at the office for these carjackers. In this next dash cam footage, this man was driving late at night when he ran into a very unusual roadblock. A suspicious man standing next to the cones approached the man's vehicle. The driver now notices the man reaching into his pocket and immediately takes off and speeds off.
What's going on?
Dash cam footage from a police car shows a man coming up to the driver's side of a vehicle in a parking lot. The driver of the car takes off and the man is seen firing shots at the car. The police officer hears the shots and goes after the running suspect. Body cam footage now shows the officer chasing the suspect on foot. The suspect gets away, but the officer gets back in his car and keeps pursuing the suspect. The cop finally catches up to the suspect and arrests him.
Get down. Just jump the fence. Just jump the fence.
Dash cam footage shows this lady at a traffic stop in South Africa when suddenly a man walks towards her, taking out his gun and trying to force them out of the car.
Who told you, dude? Ella, she said she saw on the Facebook.
The driver is terrified and starts to back up her car as far as she can until the man stops chasing after her.
Jesus! Jesus! Jesus!
Ring cam footage shows a masked man approach a parked red vehicle and open the driver's side door, getting in. The homeowner soon notices and rushes out to fight off the car thief. The other thieves, who were parked in a dark Mercedes sedan by the sidewalk, hurry to help out their colleague. The four men ganged up on the homeowner and beat him. A person screams to the thieves that the police had been called, and the thieves take off.
They just tried to rob our car, and it's a Mercedes, and they're peeling out. Sorry.
CCTV footage shows a man walking towards a parking lot before turning and walking away. The man stands at the edge of the road for a while, planning his next move. As the owner of the vehicle exits the car to check one of the tires on the other side, the bystander sees his chance and seizes it. The car owner realizes someone is in the car and jumps in through the car window just as the car starts to move. The car owner fights off the thief, who exits the car and runs away. Ring cam footage shows a pickup truck pull up to a house. A man gets out of the pickup truck and tries to get into the white truck parked in the driveway. The homeowner comes out running, and the car thief is scared off. The man chases the thief into their truck, but is eventually thrown off it down the road. Dash cam footage shows the moment a driver in Albuquerque, New Mexico, was engaged in a high-speed chase with carjackers. The driver's path was blocked by a red vehicle, and he instinctively backed up. But the robbers were not about to give up just yet. The man reroutes, taking another road, but they chase after him. He then lets them get ahead of him, then turns around and takes off again, but they still chase after him. They follow the driver down every turn, and he decides to report the situation. Luckily, while he is on the phone with the operator, he notices a police car and gets out to ask for help. The carjackers then take off as the police car chases after them.
911 emergency. Hey, there's a car following me.
In this next dash cam footage, the quick-thinking driver didn't even give the robber a chance to exit the vehicle, possibly even leaving him in need of medical attention. The driver had just arrived at a junction. But when it was his turn to move, a white vehicle blocked his path. The driver immediately tried to go around the car, at which time a man was trying to come out from one of the back doors. The driver slammed the door back in as he took off, crushing the thief's limb. He was definitely left with an injury or two. This dashcam footage shows the moment an Uber driver in Houston, Texas, picked up passengers who were actually robbers. What started as several minutes a regular Uber ride quickly escalated when one of the passengers pulled a gun on the driver and asked him to get out of the car. The driver does not comply despite the threats on his life. One of the suspects then gets into the front seat and forces the driver out, stealing his car. This gas station CCTV footage shows a woman who is determined not to lose her car no matter what. The lady is seen filling up her car when a black Cadillac at the next pump pulled out and suddenly stops. A man then sneaked out of the Cadillac and jumped into the lady's Subaru Outback. But the fearless lady was having none of it. She quickly runs over and jumps onto the hood of her car, grabbing onto her windshield wipers. The thief pulls away and tries to shake the lady off, but she hangs on. The thief eventually gives up and jumps out and back into the Cadillac. Meanwhile, the lady's car was still moving and heading for the road. She gets down and hops back in before the car reaches traffic as the thieves take off. This gas station CCTV footage shows a woman filling up her car when a man walks up to it and hops into the driver's seat. The woman notices and hops into the passenger seat as the thief takes off, flinging off the pump nozzle. The thief drives around the station while the woman fights for control of the steering wheel. Luckily, a man notices the situation, runs to her aid and fights off the car thief, who runs off. Ring cam footage shows a woman on the other side of the road who had just pulled into her driveway in Stockton, California. But she had no idea a group of robbers were observing her. They approach her as she exits the vehicle and forcefully take her keys. The lady screams for help as she is pushed away from the car, but no one comes to her aid. The thieves run back to the car and make away with the vehicle. This man was streaming live on Facebook when two armed men interrupted his broadcast, approaching him from both sides of the vehicle and telling him to exit the car. With the car not running and the man scared for his life, he did as the robbers had instructed. One of the carjackers gets into the driver's seat and drives away.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Get out the car.
Get out the car.
Get out the car. Damn, I'm not playing with you. I swear to God, I'm not playing.
This man was on a carjacking spree when the authorities finally caught him. He had already attempted a carjacking at a house early that day.
911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, attempted robbery at my house, at the vehicle.
The man next successfully carjacked the owner of a white Jaguar. The theft was reported to police officers, who chased the car around and used stop sticks to try to stop the vehicle, but the man just kept on driving. He eventually jumped out of the Jaguar and tried to steal yet another car.
The Jaguar and officers began the chase. Deputies used stop sticks, but the suspect kept driving until he jumped out of the car. That's when he tried.
And that's when police officers closed in on the serial car thief and made the arrest.
County deputies took down 34-year-old Anthony Gunther just as he tried to carjack someone in...
Dash cam footage shows the moment this taxi driver made these carjackers plead for their life. A passenger armed with a gun gets up and tries to grab the taxi driver but is pushed back. The gunman then threatens to shoot the driver, but the driver does something crazy next. The driver speeds up the car and swerves it from left to right, scaring the thieves, who start to beg him to stop. But the man goes on, the terrified thieves holding on and screaming in fear. One of the thieves throws something at the driver's head to make him stop, but he keeps on driving like a madman, and the thieves keep screaming. The driver eventually feels sorry for the thieves and jumps out of the vehicle while it is still in drive. CCTV footage at a gas station shows the moment carjackers attempted to steal a man's car at gunpoint. The thieves had been waiting at the door when he left the store and approached his car. As soon as the man opened the door, the armed thief put a gun to the back of his head. But the man was not going to give up his car without a fight as he tried to take the gun away from the criminal. The other thief walks up to help his colleague and starts punching the car owner in the face. The struggle continues, and the man is eventually pushed away from the car. The thieves get into the car but are, however, unable to start it. On realizing this, they immediately exit the car through the passenger side door and run off. In this CCTV footage, a man is seen exiting a store when he is approached by an armed robber. The thief follows the car owner to the other side of the vehicle and knocks him to the ground. One of the other robbers then moves the car away as one of the other robbers steals the car owner's wallet and runs to catch his ride. In this door cam footage, a terrified family experiences a carjacking right in front of their house. A shot is fired and the two women outside the car run and take cover. An armed man then approaches the car and forces the driver out at gunpoint, then gets into the car. But the rest of the family was still in the vehicle that was about to be stolen. The young boy runs out but leaves behind two kids in the back seat. The mother goes to rescue her kids as the carjackers on the other side demand the car key. And then the carjackers get into the vehicle to take off. This dashcam footage shows a carjacking attempt at a zebra crossing. As the driver approached a traffic stop, he ran into a group of men who blocked his path. One of the men tried to forcefully open the car door, and that's when the driver backed up and sped away. Dashcam footage shows this driver patiently waiting for the white car ahead of him to move. But after waiting a while, two men are seen exiting the car and coming towards the driver. The driver wasted no time in taking off into the other lane. But the carjackers got back in their car and chased after the driver, who was luckily able to get away. In this dash cam footage from a truck driver in Chile, a car pulls up in front of the truck on a bridge. Two men exit the car and are seen running toward the truck, but the truck driver backs up. The driver then accelerates his vehicle and slams the car of the carjackers, pushing it all the way off the bridge and going on his way. CCTV footage shows an armed man in a black hoodie holding a gun at a car owner and demanding the keys to the SUV. The car owner is more concerned about his daughter, who was still in the car, and pleads with the criminal to let him take her out. The man rescues his daughter and runs back to the store to get help. Parking lot CCTV footage shows a man walk up to his car and get in. A white SUV pulls up behind him, and three masked men exit and run towards the car. One of the men forces the driver's side door open, and they all try to pull the driver out, who starts to cry for help. In the struggle, the man blares the car horn, and the robbers are scared off. They run back to their SUV and take off. Body cam footage shows the moment police officers responded to a domestic violence call. The officer goes to talk to the suspect, but he gets into his car, ready to take off. The suspect takes off, and the police cars follow in pursuit. They chase him, but he bricks them right back to where they started and stops the car. Officers ask him to turn his car off, but he does not comply.
We have one taken off. 20 is going to be 8 William 589.
The suspect takes off again. The police chase him for several minutes until the suspect's tires tear off, leaving him with no choice to abandon his vehicle. He stops the car and immediately gets out and tries to carjack a blue car nearby. The blue car takes off, but the suspect hangs on, and the driver of the blue car eventually stops. An officer gets down and chases the suspect. The suspect does not surrender and is shot and then arrested. This CCTV footage shows the moment carjackers attempted to steal a Jeep Wrangler from a homeowner's driveway. The job involved 3 different people. The first suspect came to inspect the car. 2 other suspects return hours later, with one on the lookout and the other tampering under the hood to unplug the horn and radio. He then drills a hole on the passenger side to gain access into the car. As the suspect enters the vehicle and is tampering with wires in the glove box, he sees one of the owners in the window of the house and is scared off. As the suspect runs away, police also arrive on the scene and chase after him.